Welcome everyone to our first ever virtual conference, our biggest ever two-day conference, inspirED 2021. I'm Dan Hassan. I work in teacher relations at FeedbackFruits, and I'll be your host for the next couple of days, moderating and announcing the sessions as they happen. So I hope you can stand my voice because you'll be hearing it rather a lot. And for our very first opening words, I'll give the floor to my lovely colleagues, Vlad and Helena, who will open up the conference and today's sessions. Over to you.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. I'm Vlad from FeedbackFruits.
And hello to all of you. I'm Helena Coll from FeedbackFruits as well. And welcome to inspirED 2021. We are very excited and very happy to have you all here today. Thank you everyone for joining from all over the world, from different backgrounds, countries, cultures, different schools, organizations, institutions. We're all here today for one reason. We're all here because there is something that we are all passionate about that connects us and brings us together to this moment. And that is wanting to enhance education, wanting to think outside the box, to reevaluate our methods and designs by getting inspired on what other peers are doing. We're all here today because we want to learn, share, ask the hard questions, get advice, tips, tricks. Sorry about the video, Dan. Also learn from each other so we can improve the way we teach, the way we design our activities and courses, and of course, use our tools in a way that pedagogy is always the one driving technology.
We're very excited to have all these innovators and forward thinkers today with us. Before giving the floors to the wonderful speakers, we would like to share a short story here from FeedbackFruits. Some months ago, we were brainstorming about the conference, and it was about 12 to 13 of us just on a video call and trying to ask ourselves, what do we actually want to get out of this conference? Pardon me. What should be the key learning, but also what message should you, all attendees, take home with you? Several ideas came to mind, many topics were discussed. However, the most common idea that we had was related to education. So from increasing student engagement during remote times to exploring new forms of assessment, or ensuring inclusive and accessible educational resources to all students. Nonetheless, there was something that we kept repeating. What are the challenges that higher ed is facing right now? What do we struggle with the most? And where can we work together to build a better future?
So for that, we want to ask everyone here today just to take a moment to look back to last spring. So yeah, just taking the travel machine and going back to 2020 spring. So the pandemic forced all of us in this call to close our schools, which provoked a massive change in the way we were working and teaching. So then we wonder, was it one of the most challenging times that education experienced in the past decades? It could be. So for some academics, it really forced a radical change in the way their courses were taught and designed. Whereas for other academics, it was just the physicality of the live lecture what was missing, because they were already using blended learning and many other innovative methods in their lectures. So either way, even if it had a big change or not, many educators and students were forced to step out of their comfort zone. So hundreds of instructional designers, IT specialists, and learning and teaching teams faced a problem at the same time, and that was transitioning all live courses to online. So then if we look back again to last spring, when all of us had to adapt to this new situation that was strange, then is when we've really learned the importance of scalability in course design.
Similar to you all, our past year was spent probably mostly in online meetings, online conference meetings, and we were receiving more or less repeating questions from our partners and institutions we were engaging with. Some questions that we can resonate, and probably you've heard it before, is also like, can you share some use cases or real life examples from other schools that have successfully used technology? Or how are instructional designers or teachers addressing different pedagogical challenges? Or some of them may be even talking about teachers needing to see a successful example in order to feel confident moving forward, redesigning their course. At the same time, we heard these questions also linked with challenges, again, looking at student engagement in online teaching or remote emergency education. Also, the pandemic brought more limited staff capacity and resources to dedicate to spread of the technologies. Also, that results in difficulties onboarding faculty. Or last but not least, could be maybe too much time spent on answering technical questions that were not related to actual course design and learning outcomes. We're sure you resonate with some of these topics, and this is what we aim to tackle at FeedbackFruits. Our mission is to make every course engaging. We want to ensure that all teachers or faculty or all academics feel comfortable and confident in activities that they design, and that ultimately students will enjoy and get a deeper learning process through active participation. Of course, learning and teaching teams all over the world can focus on improving student experience and teaching innovation, really taking a step forward into rethinking the way we teach and actively implementing it.
So then we think, how can we face all of these challenges? So then we just said, well, let's just address them the way we ask students to solve their team and problem-based learning activities, right? Let's just put all of these challenges on the table and address them together through experience sharing and collaborative learning between the 900 plus people that are part of this conference.
Therefore, at inspire, we want to provide a platform for all of you to share your challenges, your success stories, really to find comprehension and solutions with one another. Really try to listen and get inspired from the ways some of you teach, some of you design, some of you learn. And we really look into achieving this by building a community of practice, focusing on advice and feedback.
So this event, inspirED, is our biggest call to the higher ed communities so far. We have tight communities already in the Netherlands, where FeedbackFruits is based, and as well in Australia, where we collaborate across several universities together. But with the first edition of inspirED, we want to set the foundation for this international, innovative, open-minded, and engaged community that wants to think outside the box, a community that gets inspired by each other, a community that allows us to debate, to compare methods, to be hands-on, to get feedback, so that at the end of the day, every course we create becomes better, more engaging, and of course, even more fun than the previous one.
Now, we want everyone here to feel welcome and part of it, really have a sense of belonging and know that you're not alone in really having this battle combining technology and pedagogy. Because as we said in the beginning, if you're present here, it is because you're curious, you do want to develop, you do want to find better ways to develop your teaching methods or your course designs. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, to improve our methods, there's nothing better than sharing our success stories or our challenges. And together we can drive education towards the future. Thank you everyone for joining. I'll hand it over to Dan and to Linda Lee for our keynote speech.